there is a triangle that needs to be addressed for holistic approach. That is, when we talk about school readiness also, if you see it's there in the literature, it talks about a ready school, ready family or ready parents and a ready child. So you cannot say a child is ready or not ready, because it's not the child's problem. There has to be parents and family that are supportive of the child, are able to give an environment to the children which is supplementing what they are doing in school, and there has to be a ready school. You may have the best of, this is a major, if you see literature today, there is a lot of talk of transition. The transition from pre-primary to primary. I'll share an example with you. For 2 years I was working in this nursery school in IIT. I used to be with the NCRT, so I shifted to IIT to be heading that school for 2 years. I don't know if any of you have seen that school. But that school had a Kendriya Vidyalaya, primary school, and the IIT nursery school together, adjacent to each other. So in between the two there was a kind of a playground. And there were these kind of windows which have those, salakhe nahi hoti hai jaise, what are they called? Iron rods type of. So those were the kind of rods in those buildings, especially the Kendriya Vidyalaya. So at age 5, the children from all those who were in the nursery used to go to class 1 in that. And I used to see these children having great fun, enjoying themselves in the nursery. And when you look out, you see them literally jaise kaidi hote hain, holding on to those rods and looking longingly at what they were missing. Just going from KG to class 1, their world had changed. You see, that is not what we want. We want a responsive environment, continuity, and a smooth transition for the children. Very, very important. Again, from the child's point of view, if you see child is one actor in the whole process, the age of the child is very important. Unfortunately, what I find, and this is again no implications for Salwan's case, I find that sometimes there are nursery schools which start children at 2 years. I don't know what you call them, pre-nursery, nursery, and start teaching them reading and writing. There is no consciousness of what the child's age is, what is age appropriate for children, something which can be done, something which should not be done. Without anything, any age, मतलब लोगों का बस चले तो वो ट्रिप से लेकर के ही पढ़ाना शुरू कर दें बच्चों को. So somewhere there is that kind of a lack of understanding. So age is a very, very important factor. Health, I said already, is a very important factor. So is nutrition and the learning environment and content. All 4 of those are very critical to your child's learning in the early years. How is age important? One, the early childhood period, as Mr. Mittal said, that the brain growth is happening at the most rapid pace. I think if you read the policy, you would have read it talks about how 80% of the brain development. It's not exactly 80%, could be 90, could be 75. It is still sort of defining on the final amount, but definitely most of the brain development happens in the earliest years of life. Now when that brain development is happening, how does a brain develop? It develops not only, there's part genetic potential, but there is a very significant impact of the environment, or the learning environment, the opportunities the child gets in his sort of environment. So an environment is what experiences the child has actually lead to the neuronic connections that are made in the brain. So what kind of an environment are we giving to the children in these earliest years is very critical. Our own research, which we have done, we did on about 40,000 children in Ambedkar University, we found that even, and you know this, we do research to find out, you actually must be experiencing it in your classrooms. Even 6 months makes a lot of difference at that early age in terms of children's abilities. And that has to be given due regard and respect. In Indian, the larger situation, if you see, the RTE, Right to Education Act, actually says 6+ should be the entry age for class 1. in Salwan public school for class 1. Because it's already okay. But in the Delhi schools also, in Delhi it must be 5 years. So actually the right thing is to have 6 plus as the age, but some governments are still continuing with 5 plus. Because that has very significant implications for the learning of children. So that actually is being considered a violation of the right to education, and there are some circulars that or some notes, some what do you call them, orders going from the Ministry of Education, talking about to the states asking them to make it 6 years. The ECC curriculum that we find across the board in most cases is not age or developmentally appropriate. The developmentally appropriate curriculum needs to be there. And parental understanding is also not there. Parents also have their own understanding of what they're very aspirational for their children and want the best for the child. But what is best is sometimes not known by parents, and that needs to be educated to them. When we talk about the brain development, when we say what is best, what is developmentally appropriate, if you see this graph, this is the brain graph. Look at the preschool years and look at the school years. As you see, that the preschool years, the focus is on foundational. Now my problem is that even the term foundational is getting misinterpreted. Many people start thinking foundational means ABCD. Foundational is the foundation to ABCD, which means sensory development. So there has to be a lot of sensory experiences in the earliest years. There has to be a lot of language. Children have to be exposed to a lot of language in the early years, in the preschool years. A lot of physical and motor